Hey, officer, like, how's it going? Was I speeding back there? How unrealistic is that? How many goddamn... Hey everybody, welcome back or to my channel. My name is Brian Scott. I am the 9-to-5 actor, and here on my channel I provide all advice related to living in Los Angeles while trying to become an actor with a full-time job, okay? Because it is definitely not an easy grind, but I want to be able to provide any insights, tips, or tricks to help everybody that's in the same lane as me right now, okay? So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, make sure you hit that like button, make sure that subscribe button, and let's get right into it. All right, so for today's video, we're going to talk about things that you need to know before you move to LA to become an actor, okay? Now, I know you've probably seen videos on things I wish I knew and all those things, but like, how do you actually know a lot of times unless you go through that experience yourself to figure it out? But I have not seen people cover the topics that I'm going to today, and so definitely stick around to the end because I'm going to bring this all back full circle, and I do believe you'll find a formula and what I'm about to share that's going to work for you and help you to become successful within this industry, but also give you insights that maybe you haven't thought about yourself, and it's going to be quite valuable. So let's get right into it. First up, I want to talk about acting class, okay? Now, if you do research at all online about acting, you're going to hear about taking an acting class, okay? Now, acting classes in general are quite valuable. And by the way, even if you aren't in LA right now, they have online acting classes you can take. So if this is something you're truly aspiring to be and you just aren't ready to move yet, I would challenge you to sign up for an acting class, okay? Start getting those nerves rumbling on being able to act out a character early so that when you get here, you already got an advantage coming into this, okay? Me, myself, I didn't start acting class until I actually came here. I did a bunch of like random things on my own, like just practicing and having fun. Like you watch a movie, I don't know, some Braveheart, and you know, they're like, freedom! You know what I mean? Like, we all get those moments, but I'm talking about real acting and learning the techniques and the foundations to be able to help you become successful. Like, you're actually gonna need class for that. Now, finding a class, okay? So like, I think there's levels and layers to classes in LA, and I don't want you all to like fall victim to this. And so I'm gonna talk about the community component of acting class later, but right now let's just stick to class. And so when you are choosing an acting class, right, I would say you want to try to find you a class for at least the first year. And within that year, you're gonna build a great community there. You're gonna learn some skills, some tips and tricks, but there are levels and layers to acting class, okay? And like some are like entry level where it'll be some really skilled people there that's done TV shows and film and things like that, but it's too friendly. You know what I mean? Like, it's too positively reinforcing. And I don't say that in a bad way. I just say, and a lot of y'all probably know, the industry is cutthroat. And so if every single time you go to acting class and you're tripping over your lines, or you don't have any vocal variety, you aren't never getting into character, and you just keep hearing from your teacher, you did such a great job today. I mean, just next time try to get into character, but it's okay because you only have a certain amount of time and we just don't. You don't want that, right? Because now you'll stay stuck at the bottom for too long. And I went to a class like that was, oh wait, great class, like gave me a lot of knowledge, but they never ever provided like true constructive criticism for you to actually get better. And so when you're choosing your acting class, definitely you can go with something with some positive reinforcement, right? But after that, you need to look for more challenging classes. Like, there are even classes that you have to do self-tapes to be able to get into it, and those classes usually take acting a lot more serious. And so like, they're actually going to provide the constructive criticism that you need to be able to keep improving. And remember, if you're like, well, Brian, I don't want no constructive criticism. Listen, if rejection makes you nervous, get over it, right? Because you're not going to become successful in this industry if you're so worried about people telling you no. You're going to get no a lot. And so you just get started with that early, helps you out so much, okay? So that is my thought process when it comes to acting class. Now, there's another layer to it. I also do believe acting class is not enough, okay? Meaning this. So like, think about it in numbers, right? So you attend acting class for about 3 to 4 hours a week, right? Usually within that 3 to 4 hours, you're actually only like acting yourself 25 minutes maybe, because you got a class, you got to watch everybody go as well. So a lot of time you're actually just sitting there watching, and in that case you should be like learning from other people. But over time that also becomes a bit much to like just be like sitting. Like I know for me, as you all know, I'm the 9-to-5 actor, so I do have a full-time job, and there'd be times where like I always go first just so I don't want to see any other performances to like dilute my own mindset. But then I'm now sitting there for 3 hours after that, and it's just like, oh my God, there's so many other things I could be doing right now. I could be working on content. I could be doing this. And I know people can say, well, you should just be so focused on class, but listen, that it becomes a lot. And so I also would challenge you all to practice on your own. Buy yourself lights, buy yourself cameras. If you are not practicing on your own, you are not going to improve. Because I mean, I did the numbers the other day. I don't know them off the top of my head, but if you went to like acting class for a full year doing like 30 minutes a week, it came out to like 24 hours for the entire year. So that means you only did 1 day within a whole year. And that's just not enough, right? Like, you get what I'm saying? And so if you're not also putting in an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a week just on your own, practicing your craft, then you're not going to improve and get good enough to be able to actually compete with other actors who really take this serious. Okay, so there are my complete thoughts about acting class. Another thing, actually, final thought there would be, think of a private coach when you get to a certain point. And I know a lot of times you could be like, oh man, that might be more expensive, but like acting class is usually about $300 a month. Maybe an acting coach would be like $300 to $400. But if you're only practicing with them once a week, they actually learn your mannerisms and they learn how you operate, and they can like help you improve individually because they're focused on you, and you may get an entire hour to practice with this coach versus you being in a class for 3 to 4 hours and like you only getting like 20-30 minutes. And another advantage to the class, of course, is the community, but the privates is that they truly can help you improve, right? Because you got to just be honest. A lot of these acting instructors are just actors, right? And they're not even A-listers or B-listers, like C-list, D-list actors. No disrespect, because that's lit. They've been on shows and TV and everything. But they also are watching performances over and over, or they're giving you scripts from things that they've seen before. And whether they want to admit it or not, they have biases that's gonna leak into their own head. Like when they're trying to critique your performance or like give you feedback. So it's like, how are you even improving? Like, I remember I had one scene, right, where a cop pulled me over in the scene, and then like I'm like responding back to him, you know, I got my lines and everything. And so cop pulls me over, and my demeanor was how it would be if a black person was pulled over by a cop. Like, you're not too friendly, but you're also like making sure that you are complying because you don't want to get into no BS, right? And I'm black, so I can speak on this. And so like person pulls up, you know, I got my demeanor on, and I'm just like, hey officer, you know, like, how can I help you today? Like, type energy. And then the instructor was like, oh, no, Brian, we want you to be like happy and giggity. And we want you to be like, hey officer, like, how's it going? Was I speeding back there? How unrealistic is that? How many goddamn black people y'all done seen do that? And so it's little things like that where you just learn off the back. They're like, all right, I get you're trying to do your best as a teacher, but like, you got your own biases leaking in, and I can't already have bias within the world and then have bias in class where I can't even improve because your mind is so stuck in some BS. So it's like, that's another positive thing about switching classes and also getting a private coach. So I believe I provided enough context about class. I know I can't give y'all too much just because of the point that I remember when I was trying to learn, the more information, the better. So I feel like I covered everything class related. The next thing I want to talk about is finding an agency and a manager. Okay. Social media today is king. All right. And so there are a bunch of different sites that you could like go to, and like you could just Google, honestly, like top 100 agencies in Los Angeles, and they'll pop up. And you could be able to search and find one. But me personally, how I checked out agencies is, you're going to meet a lot of people in LA, right? And in general, you could just search within Instagram, but I always enjoyed going to people's bios that was already signed and then just clicking on their agencies that way. You're going to find so many people in Los Angeles that are signed, and you could just literally find all the agencies through social media, through Instagram. I would recommend that too, because the last thing you want to do is sign up for an agency that doesn't have a social media presence. So it's like, you don't even know if they're booking clients because they're promoted. Like most agencies that are, at least they can just be the boutique ones too, even the little ones that are doing good for themselves, that are getting their clients booked. They post it like, you know, Brian booked, you know, for commercial, great job there. Wait, Kevin booked for this, Sabrina booked. you want to see that. You want to feel like that the people are actually doing a job, and you want to be able to click into those profiles to make sure those people are real, that like you're going. And I'm using boutique because like a lot of us, if you're just starting out, you're not going to get signed with CAA, you know what I mean? That's one of the, or the CCA, I don't know, probably one of the two, but that's like one of the biggest like agencies. You're not, that's just like A-list actors are in that and everything, so you're not going to go that big, so you're going to go smaller. And I've had a couple agencies I remember reach out to me. They had no social media presence. I passed. So you also can't be so desperate to sign up for an agency that you just don't know if it fits your like lifestyle and just the type of actor you want to be and all those things. And I'd also would say, when you do like find an agency and you like go to their website, also look through their clientele. See if they have anyone that look like you. Because if you are like a blonde hair, blue eyed person, right? And their entire portfolio is blonde hair, blue eyes. Man, I know that's just like a normal thing, but it's like you probably want to just find a couple more that's not like their standout, because that doesn't help you. The same thing will be in black. If they have like somebody black with long hair, that's tall, or they got locks, that's tall. It's like I probably want to just check out a couple more that got like some options. And I'm not saying there's no one that exists like that, but it's like it just helps me. So when casting sends the agency like, or they see an opportunity, they don't think to themselves, oh, I'm just gonna send John, who looks just like Brian, because John has a little bit more experience for this role. It's like you want them to send you because you're that unique standout that like helps out within getting you booked. So that's just super important there. So that's about all my thoughts and ideas that I'm gonna have on like finding an agency. And definitely on your own, you should be like creating a spreadsheet, getting check boxes, so as you're submitting and learning, and like for your welcome letter, I mean, you'll want to include things like headshots. I didn't cover that in this video. I didn't think I really was, because I feel like that just goes apart with it. But since we're here, let's just do it. Another thing you are going to need is headshots to be able to get an agency, okay? Headshots, another thing you can find through Instagram. You search enough, you can look through other people's headshots. They usually tag the person that shot them. And from there, you definitely want to get those. I would recommend you probably update them based on how much you're getting booked, like once a year. Like I actually should get some new ones, because the initial ones I did, I had like my beard and everything, but I actually should also do one where I like cut this off and just kind of roll with it like that. And I say that because like you also want to give like agencies and castings different looks that you could pull off yourself to be able to help. And of course, sometimes when you're just doing that quick shoot with those 5 looks, you don't have the time to like completely re-clean up your face and change everything. So you might gotta like book more headshots to just give that variety. Or maybe you want to wear your hair a certain way, but you got it done for your headshots. I don't know if you have like curly hair, but then you decide you want it straight. It's like you may not have the time to do that in one shoot. So like being able to go back and like do more headshots, it is going to cost you probably for both like 500, 250 for one session, 250 for the next, or it's about 300 to 500 in that range or whatever. But it's okay, it's worth it, because this is your career and you should never doubt yourself investing in yourself. Okay, so look at y'all got another treat thrown in there just because I just thought about it at the top of my head. So next, I want to talk about submitting yourself to castings. For me, I've been using Actors Access, Casting Networks, and then Backstage. Each one kind of has different opportunities, so you definitely just want to be able to check them all out if possible. I got my first commercial with Microsoft through Casting Networks. It was a confidential shoot. I could say who I was shooting with, but it was like all their new devices and everything they're going to be rolling out. So that was just super dope, an opportunity to like get on set and see how that was for the first time. And my goal when I got here was to get on set within a year, right? And I did accomplish that, so I'm super happy about it. More opportunities that I need definitely down the road to keep coming. So it's just, you know, but it felt good to at least just accomplish that goal. But yeah, every site offers something different. I would definitely get signed up for those right away, especially when you don't have an agent. I have one friend who, even after they signed to an agency, one of the things, like a stipulation within their contract, was that they still wanted to be able to submit for things themselves, just because like, and I'm going to cover this later about advocating for yourself, but like they just wanted to make sure that they're always putting themselves in an opportunity to win. Because like y'all are going to notice when it comes to getting an agent and then like getting in castings that like people literally just get signed and then they sit around and they just wait. Right? They just wait for that opportunity to come, and sometimes that opportunity don't come, and then people just keep jumping around to different agencies trying to find that one, and sometimes they do. But like getting signed to an agent does not mean all of a sudden that you're going to be successful within the acting realm. Like you have to keep working and you have to keep putting yourself out there to improve, to like get to that place to where you're like, okay, I am being booked consistently, right? And so I can't really deep dive into like which side will work best for you. You just got to check those out and then kind of just look at the opportunities and then see what fits like your criteria on what you're looking to accomplish. Okay, now we have one of my favorite things I like to cover, and it is finding a community. Okay, this is so important. All right, there are 4 million people in LA. Everyone's here for something different. Everyone is not here to be an actor. Some people are here to be dancers. Some people are here to do music. Some people are here to be directors, producers. You get my point. When you are trying to figure out a community, it is so easy in LA, especially if you come here solo dolo like I did, to just like gravitate towards anyone that just wants to be your friend, right? But I'm gonna just be completely honest with you all. That will not help you become successful. It'll keep you from being alone, but it won't help you to become successful, right? And even when people are in different fields than you, like I know a lot of dancers, okay? But like, we don't hang out a lot because even when times when they come over and we're kicking it, they want to like listen to music and choreograph dances and I don't care about any of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to like watch, but I care about acting. Like when me and my like friends hang out, I want to be able to like write up a script real quick, a 30-second monologue, right? And we all just shooting back to back. After that, we're like listening to it, figuring out ways we can improve and like get better. And I can do that for hours and like be happy at the end of it. And so it's super important when you are just trying to get a community that you find like-minded people like yourself that are down to indulge in things that you like to do, because that'll help you improve and get better like within your craft. Okay, now how do you actually do that? I mean, there's multiple ways, but this comes back to like a personality thing, whether you're introverted, extroverted. So you have the simple ways. You can just join classes, acting classes. You'll definitely find a community there of like people. I feel like that's the simplest way. But another way is just interacting with people in general that you meet. Like I've met so many dope people at the gym, okay? Like y'all gotta remember this is LA. And so I know you see a lot of that stuff online about not talking to people and stuff, but like LA is different because everyone always trying to figure out, oh, what do you do? Or what do you do? And all these other things, don't get too trapped in that. But like also that helps you out when you like meet a person that's like, oh, I'm here to be an actor, you know, and I'm just trying to figure it all out. And you're like, oh my gosh, well, I was thinking about X, Y, and Z. And then now y'all two click. And so like, definitely just keep putting yourself out there. But the simple way to get a community is class, but also just remember within the people that you're building, like make sure you're around like-minded people that actually want to support you and they want you to improve. Because like I using a great example, like I don't go out to the clubs or turn up in the bars. That's like a normal thing here, right? And funny enough, the like 4 to 5 friends I have here now, they don't do that either. But they're all super focused on their craft and they're killing it. Like, I mean, killing it. You feel me? They're always on set and booked. You know what I mean? And so it's like, you just got to figure out for you, what is your lane and what is your community. And I don't think there's anything wrong with going to the clubs and turning up. I'm just past that stage for myself. And I know how hard the grind is to be a winner, that like, I'm willing to like sacrifice all that now to like push my life forward. You feel me? All right. So now for a really important section of this video. Okay. I feel like my next 2 topics are going to like be the cream of the crop. First is I want to talk about the reality of acting, because I was delusional to this. And so I just want to make sure I help everybody out. And this is not something that you even got to take from me. You can literally go on a site like Film Courage, where directors and actors like talk all the time, and they'll give you the same insight. Yo, acting is tough. All right. And I'm not even talking about the craft of it. I'm not even talking about learning. Those things you could probably do on your own and just keep getting better. You all are going to run into a lot of people here that are really great actors that don't get booked at all, haven't been booked in forever. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's true tiers and layers to this. Like we all see the A-lister and B-list actors, right? But there's so many, I don't know how much further it goes. I'm only going to make like C, D, E, right? But there's so many C, D, E list actors that are like, they actually do shows, they do commercials, they do like movies, but they just don't have big parts. But it's like those 5 lines in that one scene is huge. But it's like hard when you first get here to like know that a person is doing that, or you see a person post that success for themselves and you're like, that wasn't shit. It is though. You know what I mean? If you get a movie, right? And all you do, I don't know, you're a bodyguard, right? For a club, who knows? And all you say to the patrons is, IDs first, please. That's big time. That's where you probably want at least 5 lines, because then you get paid more. But you get my point. Like, you definitely want, like, everything is a win, and you got to recognize that for yourself. Now, you want to keep elevating your game, but, like, it's not easy, y'all. Like, I just want you to know that. Like, and even if you, like, look up some of y'all now probably watch movies and shows and you ain't seen a person in a minute. Y'all think they're on a hiatus? I used to think that. They're not. They're just not getting booked. Like, which is why you see a lot of stars in general transition from like movies to TV shows and things like that, because like they want to stay working consistently. There is no true security in this field if you're not an A-lister, okay? And potentially a B-lister, like high B-lister. Like, There's no financial security, everyone will tell you. And even those people will tell you that, like, y'all can watch their interviews, like, of much, like, more renowned actors, and they'll even talk about it, like, man, like Actors Roundtable, they talk about that a lot. It's like, man, I didn't even know, like, when my next role was gonna come, or like when I was gonna get another opportunity, like, even though I'm like on the big screen. And it's like, you be sitting back listening, like, oh my god, like, I seen this person in 3 movies and they're worried about their next role. It's like, but you just starting out, that ain't been in shit, that don't nobody know, you think you're just gonna come and like all of a sudden crush through the ranks and just be an A-list actor in a year? You are fooling yourself. And I'm not, but I want to throw out the positive reinforcement. It's possible. Anything's possible in this world. But you just gotta understand that ain't reality, and it's gonna be a grind, okay? Like, and so I just want everybody to like stomach that before you do get here, because I didn't know it, and it helped me out so much, and it helps me appreciate the work that it takes to get to where you want to be in this field, okay? So like, just throwing that out there. And then lastly, I want to talk about something that like I believe I'm really good at, and it's been helping me a lot, but it's something I still got to push harder on, and it is creating your own lane. This is the most important thing I'm going to share with you all through this entire video, I personally feel like, because it's going to separate you from everyone in Los Angeles that's like trying to become an actor, from a good portion of people. So as I told you all a little bit ago about agencies and actors, like, a lot of people get signed with agencies and now they're just sitting around waiting on the opportunity, right? But like, you have the ability to advocate for yourself. Now, how do you do that? Well, something you got to do is you got to keep promoting yourself through like your social media. Right now, what are ways to do that? Well, if you want to be an actor, then things you could be doing is shooting yourself little shorts, little skits, you feel me? Whether it's like funny ones or whether they're drama, whatever you choose, like, you should definitely be creating skits if you plan on becoming an actor. And I don't mean like funny, dumb skits, like truly you trying to show some skill to being an actor, and definitely make it a little funny for like the social media purposes and things like that, but like, take yourself serious, because how you portray yourself is how casting is going to view you. And so if you're doing a bunch of stupid silly-ish, then maybe that'll help you if you want to do comedic things. But if you want to be like drama and like serious, like some Denzel Washington, then like you're gonna have to do scenes where it may be a little bit more serious. But like, make sure you're promoting yourself. If you are into like podcasts like me, as you all know, I have a podcast. If you don't know, it's called Deep in the Bag. It is on my channel. Make sure you check it out. And season 1 is done. I'm rolling on season 2 now. Definitely have not pushed as hard as I wanted, but I'm picking up the energy again right now. And like, I got my podcast. I'm starting to shoot skits and shorts. I've done 1 so far. I want to do a couple more. And then like, even next year for myself, I'm like, okay, next, I want to be able to shoot my own short film. It's a lot of work because I've been doing hella research on it. And it's like, outside of just scripting it, like, I was looking at a director do his first short, and he like literally was going through the paper like, oh, I want the lighting to be at this point. And it's kind of expensive too. But it's like, you need to look for opportunities to advocate for yourself. If you are sitting around just waiting and waiting and waiting, you are most likely never going to be successful here. You have to take yourself to acting seminars. You have to like do things to put your face out there, okay? Between social media, acting seminars, and just like, those are probably the main 2 that you truly can control, that like put you out there the most. And just building that strong community is so important to your success, because trying to do it all on your own is going to be so tough, because it's just, you're competing against so much out here. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. I truly wish I saw a video like this before I moved out here. I just think it would have helped me get on track much quicker. Like, I've been here a year and a half now, and so like, I just had to learn and grow through this and realize a lot of this. Oh wait, I almost didn't tell y'all, because I just started doing this recently. Next thing is, think about this. Whatever avenue of life right now you feel like you're strong in, right? What do you know? You have knowledge on this thing, okay? And I always think of like my tech job when I'm talking to people about this, because when it comes to tech, I know a lot, like the ins and outs, how businesses work. I mean, it's literally part of my job, but like, because of that, I am successful within that, and I am valued within tech, right? But it's the same thing within acting, okay? So one of the things I did do was, I got here and I just like got into that craft because I just knew I would love the art, right? But I don't know any of the background. Like, people were talking about method acting and the Sneisner, man, I might have said that wrong myself, but like different things, all these methods of acting and all these other things, and I just didn't understand them. I'm not gonna lie, but like, how can you become great in something you know nothing about. Like, and so something I've been doing is starting to pivot away from reading all my psychological and mental books, which is making my mind stronger, to like reading acting books. So a couple books I've read so far is I got Audition. I finished that one. There's another book I have, and I'm reading, by the way, from over here. It is called Audition on Camera. And oh God, I forgot the audio book, and I just downloaded an audio book yesterday called An Actor Prepares by Slavowski, something like that. But like everyone talks about, like, that was, they was like, dude, that's a great another book you're reading, oh my God. And so like those are the things that you got to be able to do. You got to start understanding the science and the knowledge and the craft while you're also trying to become an actor. Is super important. So if you all enjoyed this video, man, I plan on continually having updates. They probably won't all be this long. This is just one of those videos. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure to subscribe button, and yeah, and if you end up finding your way to LA and you want to become an actor, let me know. I am always looking to build a strong community when it comes to this, and I'll see everybody at the top.